Hello everyone. This is South Carolina, Crime and History. Today's story is about a man so disturbed and violent in nature that he'd end up claiming the lives of 3 unfortunate and unsuspecting victims, leaving a family shattered. Charles Oliver Shuler, born on July 17, 1948, remains an enigmatic figure due to the absence of detailed personal history. Little is known about his early life, including his birthplace, family background, or formative years. His adolescence, education, career, and social life remain largely undocumented. What is known is that he resided at some point in Ellery, South Carolina. From this vague and shadowy personal background, Shuler would become infamous for an act of extreme violence that shattered a family and shook the community of Orangeburg County. Shuler had been involved in an on-again, off-again relationship with 38-year-old Linda Williams, reportedly dating her up to 2 years before the tragic events that would follow. Though details about the nature of their relationship are limited, it was reported that after the relationship ended, Shuler harbored deep resentment. Linda frequently received threatening voicemails from him. At one point, a warrant was issued for his arrest after he made a threatening phone call. Unfortunately, that warrant would not be executed in time to prevent the tragedy that unfolded on September 8, 1999. On that day, Shuler arrived at Linda's residence on Myrtle Drive near Cordova, South Carolina. Linda lived there with her 13-year-old daughter, Stacy Gates, her 8-year-old son, Buster Williams, and her 63-year-old mother, Dorothy Gates. Buster, playing outside and working on a treehouse, saw Shuler drive across a ditch and into the front yard. He later testified in court that Shuler exited his vehicle holding a 12-gauge shotgun. Dorothy Gates, upon seeing Shuler approach, reportedly called Buster into the house. Unable to enter through the locked front door, Shuler used the shotgun's butt to smash a window, allegedly shouting, "I got you now, you bitch." Buster fled through the back door and ran to a neighbor's house for help. As he ran, he heard gunshots. Buster would be the only one to survive. Inside the home, Shuler carried out a brutal triple homicide. He shot and killed Dorothy Gates, Linda Williams, and Stacy Gates. Despite her critical injuries, 13-year-old Stacy managed to call 911. In a final act of courage, she identified Shuler as the attacker before succumbing to her wounds. The call would become a crucial piece of evidence in the investigation and later trial, despite the defense's efforts to exclude it based on the victim's age and emotional state. The court ultimately admitted the recording, deeming it credible and vital to the prosecution's case. Further bolstering the evidence were the voicemails Shuler had left on Linda's answering machine. These threatening messages showcased his escalating anger and intent, supporting the prosecution's argument that the murders were premeditated. After committing the murders, Shuler attempted to take his own life using the same shotgun. He survived and was promptly apprehended by local law enforcement. He was charged with 3 counts of murder and 1 count of first-degree burglary for unlawfully entering Linda's home. Trial took place in March 2001. On March 22nd, a jury found Charles Oliver Shuler guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to death. During sentencing, the 911 call and the voicemail messages played a central role in affirming the deliberate and malicious nature of his crimes. Shuler later attempted to appeal his sentence, but the court denied his request. The family of the victims filed a civil lawsuit against Orangeburg County. They alleged that the county had failed to respond appropriately to their repeated warnings about Shuler's threats. That same year, the case was settled for an undisclosed amount under $180,000. Charles Oliver Shuler never faced execution. On April 2, 2013, he died of heart failure at age 64, while incarcerated at Lieber Correctional Institution. His death marked the close of a dark and painful chapter in South Carolina's criminal history. The murders committed by Shuler serve as a tragic reminder of the devastating consequences of domestic violence and unchecked rage. The case underscores the importance of taking threats seriously and the critical role that victims, like brave 13-year-old Stacy Gates, can play in securing justice, even in their final moments.